Hello, lads. Thank you for coming on the podcast. How are you both doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thanks
Thanks.
for having us.
Do you want to introduce yourself and tell us what instruments you both play?
So, hello, I'm Brad. I'm the lead singer and rhythm guitarist in the band.
And I'm Henry. I play drums and free party.
So, how did you both meet and meet the rest of the band members?
So, a bit of a long story. It's all to do with Lee Junior. Me and Kieran, the other guitarist, we moved into a flat together, and we started just playing like guitars with each other and jamming, and then we started making songs, and then we were like, oh, I'd just left my old band, and we were like, oh, we could probably get a band going. And then one night we went to Walkabout, the famous Walkabout Wednesday in Leeds.
It wasn't Wednesday though. This
Was it
one.
not?
No, this one was just like a random Saturday.
But just a random Saturday. When weren't you at the
Yeah,
motorsports?
yeah. So my friend was in like motorsport society, and he was going on about some guy named Kieran who's like a sick go karter or something. I heard a guy whose name was Kieran. I was like, oh, is it you that's really like sick at driving go karts? And he was like, nah. And then we got chatting, and then he was like, oh yeah, no, I'm just like trying to start a band, but I'm just looking for a drummer. And I was like, oh, I'm a drummer. And then he was like, "Oh right, well I'll message you." And obviously we were all pissed, so like we never like expected it to happen, but then it actually did, and then three of us started rehearsing.
Yeah, I remember the day after I had a message from this guy called Henry, and I was like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "This guy's messaged me saying that we're rehearsing." And I was like, "What?" But then, so that was like the start of it, and then we wanted like another guitarist, so we got Joey, who I grew up with him from Sheffield. I used to be in a band with him.
And Kieran was playing bass at the time, wasn't
Yeah, and Kieran was playing bass at the time to start with. But we got him in and we made his first single that before. And that's like still takes off today. But then we decided to become a five piece when we met Harris, the bassist now, at a gig where he supported us. But then me and Joe went to a gig at Bruder now. See a band called Geese, and Harris was there, and we like really got on with it, and we were like, "Oh, you should join our band." And then we become a five piece, which is insane.
Oh yeah, I remember that because I was fuming at times. I was in Portugal, and I was like, "Can you guys just sort a drum kit for this gig?" And then I got back, and it was like, "Oh, is there a drum kit?" And you were like, "No, but we have a new member."
Yeah.
Like, oh.
We like didn't tell him. It's like, "Oh, I've just got this new bassist in now, and like we're gonna have three guitarists," and you're like, "What?" Okay.
How would you describe your music then to people that haven't heard it yet?
Uh, like alternative rock, indie. Quite some of the songs are heavier than others, aren't they? And some we like to say some of the songs are quite dancey as well.
Yeah,
We like to mix a lot of genres together.
it's kind of hard to describe. Like we played around with calling it like dance grunge.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know. It's not really grungy enough or dancey enough for that, but it's a cool genre name, you know.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like mainly like indie. It's a bit garage rocky as well. The new two singles.
yeah. We just every new song we make seems to like dabble in a different genre.
Did you all were you all into different genres like growing up and now, or do you listen to the same music?
I'd say me and Joe have always had the same music taste growing up. Like one of the other guitarists, because three guitarists. We've always been into like, like when we were younger, it was like all the indie, like
Coldplay.
Coldplay, Arctic Monkeys, Catfish, Bottom. Then like when we matured, like music taste got a bit better than that. Like more like all the '90s, yeah. Like all the '90s rock, like the grunge and like Strokes, or like all that kind of stuff.
And then Kieran's into more like some like classic stuff as well.
Yeah.
He loves like the Doors. He also loves Green Day. And then I'm more of like a grunge kind of like hard rock sort of thing, like your Nirvana, Queens of the Stone Age, all that '90s stuff. But then like I've come to appreciate like Strokes and stuff. Like, as well recently as well.
But Harris literally likes everything.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what he doesn't like.
Would you say that helps you as a band and having different genres that you can like relate to?
Definitely, yeah. Because like when you go to make your own part, you've got like your influences in mind, and like you kind of bring it all together. And it's like forms what we make. I guess.
You mentioned before we started that you've got a gig in York tonight. You're looking forward to that.
Yeah. Although we have just had a support act that dropped out, so
Really?
we need to try and sort another band in the same day.
We
Might
do,
not
yeah.
be
We've
to plan.
got to find a new band now somehow
Yeah.
on the way to the gig.
Does that usually happen? Is it usually that hectic?
No,
That's never happened, no.
we've had a band drop out like a couple of weeks before, or like a month before, but that's like the worst we've had it. We've never had like on a day, but we'll not get into that.
What what other shows have you got coming up then?
Tomorrow we are playing the Key Club, supporting friends Counting Sevens, and then Saturday we're playing Sheffield, which is like obviously my hometown, so that's going to be quite a big one. We're headlining Sydney and Matilda there.
You mentioned on your Instagram that you headlined in London end of last year. What was that day like?
Oh, really good. That was really
sick.
fun.
It was really good.
So I'm from London, so like I've always wanted to do like a headline London gig, but I wasn't sure if it was going to work because obviously it would only be like my mates showing up. And I was like, if I can get two really good support bands, and we did, we got the Colour and the Cardboard, they're both brilliant, and brought like friends along. So we managed to actually sell a decent amount of tickets. It was the Dublin Castle in Camden, which is a pretty iconic venue. I believe it's had like Madness and Amy Winehouse and Blur and all sorts play there. So yeah, really good, went really well. Only downside was I had like a 40-degree fever at the time, so I was like on the brink of death basically. But yeah, we got through it.
What's your favourite gig that you've played so far?
I actually don't know.
I think for me, there's two that are on par. Was it last year or this year when we played Lending Room in Leeds and we sold it out?
Yeah, that
it was a headline and the room was quite big and it was literally filled to the brim and like everyone was singing the song and dancing.
I might say Northern Guitars for me because it's just that moment where we had like Northern Guitars was packed, right, and then we had like people. There was a bouncer and there were people outside who were like not allowed in because it was too busy. And then they were all like watching from outside the pub. And then that was so much fun.
That's when we were quite early as well.
Yeah, that was like one of our first like 10 gigs maybe. That was a while ago now.
But we played Hull the other month, and yeah, well, I don't know if everyone else, but I was expecting there to be no one there, and there were just like loads of people there. We didn't know a single person in the crowd, and they were all like dancing to us songs, and then since then we've been offered a festival in Hull.
Yeah.
That's one of my favourites as well.
That was Polar Club. It was the session hall that we played at.
How did the name Free Party come about?
So that's literally I talked about this on a radio show. But so Free Party is another word for illegal rave. And me and Joe used to go to these illegal raves when we were like 16, 17. And we just thought it'd be a cool band name. And it kind of like links into that like rave culture as well.
Yeah.
So it's like, but yeah, it come from that. It's not probably not good to mention it.
You've got a new single coming out. Is that next week though?
Yes.
What
So
can
8 days, a week and a day.
what can you tell us about that?
Leave this one to you.
It's
called Tell Me.
It's I feel like that one because obviously the one oh god, what's happening? Oh sorry, let's get rid of that. So the one we just released on Saturday said more like poppy, is it? More like poppy,
fancy, definitely, yeah.
But this one's more like like just a short like indie banger, with quite heavy like dirty guitarists, and the song is about not having the answers to like life questions. You know, like when someone's like, "Where are you going to be in the next 5 years?" and you don't know, and you wish someone would just tell you. And it's called "Tell Me," I wish you'd just. So it's kind of like more of a relatable song for like people our age and stuff. So hopefully people can relate to it and listen to it.
How do you write a song? Do you do it together, or is it like do you do it individually?
It mainly comes from like a guitar part that someone's made, either like Joe or Kieran mainly, and then we'll take it into the rehearsal room and then probably like sort of structure out
we always end up changing it as well.
Yeah,
Like from what
yeah.
it's meant to be, it always gets different.
We just like experiment with like a guitar riff and then add everything to it. And then with lyrics, I'll normally just sing the first thing that comes into my head, and then I'll base the lyrics around that thing I've sung. It's normally like a group effort, but it always comes from like one person, and then it forms into like everything else.
Yeah, yeah. Was your last single and the one that comes out next week, were they both recorded with Gordon Raphael?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
How did that come about, meeting him and working with him?
Just sent him a message on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Like we heard you were like producing bands at Iger Studio. Do you want to produce us as well? And he listened to our stuff and he was like, yeah. So then we went down and recorded it.
But obviously, for me, like I'm a like huge Strokes fan, and obviously he recorded the first two Strokes albums, which is like my favourite albums. So I was like, oh my god, we're going to be Gordon Raphael. No, we're good. It's like he just sounds good, very down to earth guys. But
What was it like working with him? Was it different from what you'd done before?
that's
Yeah, we recorded it in a different way as well.
yeah.
So it definitely was. Like we recorded it in like the instrumental was done in live takes. So what you hear on like the singles, apart from a few like tweaks in places, is what we played live.
Yeah.
And then vocals are added on top of it. And that's the style that Gordon likes doing. It's also something we wanted to try out as well. So it's different in that way, and also different because obviously with his experience, like some of the things he was doing, like kind of in 5 minutes, we were like, wow, we've never seen anyone like work so like efficiently before.
Yeah, we were really quick at like doing all the editing and stuff.
Have you recorded any more songs with him, or is it just those two?
Just them two.
Is there any plans to work with him in the future, or?
Possibly, but we've got something else that's cropped up, which I might not mention yet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna see what happens. I think we always have to like think about our options, and also like especially because it's early on in like stuff we're doing. There's no harm in like finding out what sound works best for you and what sort of production style as well.
I just want to talk about the song Ghost. That's one of my favourite songs that you've done. How did that song come about?
Oh God, I can't remember. How did that come about?
I don't really know how it came about.
I think I remember. So Joe had made that like the chord progression.
Yeah.
And then I think we were jamming it in the rehearsal room. And then I think you did the tom thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a long time ago, but then I remember
we
that.
fucked with the structure of that song a lot. Can I swear I was going to get you
demonetized? Yeah, you can swear.
Yeah, but I remember I made that like and then we were like, oh shit, that's like sick, and then we like, oh, we need to make it into a song, and then
that might be my favorite song.
Yeah, and that song, like when we play it live, it just always hits the same. Like always like get really excited to play it and stuff.
Would you say
that's tonight, won't we? We haven't played live in a month, so
yeah.
Would you say that song kind of made you more popular in a way when people heard that song?
Maybe it's between that and before, isn't it?
Like, it would definitely be before.
Before everyone knows before the most. That was first single, but like I think that's second. Before, isn't it?
But I think as well, like it's difficult to. We haven't had like a song that's like blown us up yet as well. So there's been no song that's like made us super popular.
Yeah. So
it's still like a steady stream of like our friends and family and like mutual friends and like people that have heard of us coming. We haven't had one where it's been like, oh, it's on the radio and everything, like everyone's like something. So there's no song. It's been like a steady like progression, I guess, rather than like one song like just blowing us up sort of thing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. How important is social media for the band in this day and age?
Extremely important. Like that's probably like the only way to get yourself out there is social media nowadays, especially like things like TikTok and like Instagram Reels.
Yeah,
but TikTok's a very hard game sometimes.
It's very cringy at times as well. To like the sort of things like you kind of have to do to blow up. We just hate doing them, so we're trying to find a balance where it's like we can release some like TikTok and Reels and stuff that isn't like too. You know, like this is going to be the single of the summer.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to be trying to find a balance.
You've got to be American.
Yeah.
You've got to be American.
What about before then? How did that song come about? That was the first single, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. So that was. I actually remember that it was right before we were going to meet you at rehearsal. We were in my bedroom in my student
It's
flat.
been like our second rehearsal.
Yeah,
We made
yeah.
that or third or something.
It was in my student flat, and Joe like he had his E string tuned to D sharp, and then he just started playing like that chord progression at the start, and then I just did the stabby bit, and then Kieran was on bass. I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be the song of the summer. Took it to rehearsal, and then we made it, didn't we? You put drums on it, and we made it.
Yeah.
Like just like that, and they were like, "We're fucking sorted here. We've got like his first single kind of thing."
Yeah.
Have you got a lot of songs written that haven't been out yet?
Yes.
Yeah, loads.
We've got 23 songs.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a list of them, and half of them we haven't played in like years. But
Yeah,
there's 23 free-party songs in all that we've like played live and rehearsed and stuff.
we like put some under the sludge, and then they might come back. Or we're like,
Yeah,
"Oh no,
yeah.
we'll get rid of that."
We've also like made some of our earlier songs have become like the same riffs have like come back in like later songs
Yeah,
or like lyrics and stuff. So some of them have kind of morphed into
Yeah.
like the newer songs.
it's like about maturing. When you like mature with your sound, you like start making better songs. Like, oh, we can just get rid of that one and replace it with this one that's way better, kind of thing.
Yeah. You've mentioned you've got a new single coming out next week, and you've got these shows coming up. What does the future look like for Free Party after that?
Yeah.
I
I mean, time will tell, I suppose.
Yeah.
We're hoping to keep doing as many gigs as possible, so there'll be more shows in Leeds. I think we can mention the one on the 24th of April. That's definitely happening.
yeah, that's a part.
So we're playing a Porto supporting O'Phantom on the 24th of April. So there's that. But then, like after that, we'll have Leeds gigs, looking at potentially Manchester. We'll do London again, and then kind of hoping to keep going around like the cities we've played in and play a few more and kind of like expand. And also, maybe we could record a few more songs, maybe an EP one day.
Maybe an EP might be in the way.
Is it hard getting gigs like around the country? What's it like planning gigs and getting them booked?
It kind of depends. So like I basically book like most of them, not all of them, but like majority if it's in like London or different city. You've done Sheffield, to be fair.
Yeah,
this weekend. But there are some cities where I can figure out like London or like Bradford. There are like venues who will respond to you immediately and they'll be like, oh, yeah, you can book the date. We just need to know that you have supports and you just have to organize it with them basically, and then it's up to you to bring people and the support bands to bring people to them. So that's okay. But then there are also cities where we found it impossible. So I still don't know how to get a gig in Newcastle. We absolutely can't. Playing for like a year now, and every venue that doesn't respond or says like, "Oh, you're not a local band, so you can't do it."
yeah.
And it's just like I just can't figure it out. So it kind of depends. So there's some cities we know what we're doing now, like Sheffield and Bradford and London and I suppose York as well now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we haven't unlocked areas of the country yet as well. So
that's why sometimes it's nice to have like someone message you like, "Oh, do you want to come and support us in this city?" And you're like, "Oh, that's like so much easier." But that doesn't happen a lot, so yeah, you have to do it yourself.
I saw you when you supported Chase last year. Who else have you supported over the last couple of years?
The big ones,
so many Crooked Kings.
The big ones, Crooked Kings. And that's when we played Brooding Down and we supported them.
Supported Hotel Lux recently.
Hotel Lux.
They're doing alright.
Who else?
I mean, there's literally like so many bands.
Yeah,
there's local bands.
The Crooked Kings are like they were from America, weren't they? They've got like 100k followers on Instagram and stuff. But that was like
Brooding as well.
And then we played Brooding Down, which was it.
Is that your favourite venue, Brooding? Because that's like probably one of the most iconic in Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah, UK.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's definitely an argument to be made for it bringing like big bands to Leeds.
Yeah.
Or like big medium-sized bands as well.
Jesus and Mary Chain have just got announced at Brooding, haven't they?
Have they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I mean. But it's always like it's mad because you always end up seeing the band after like having a cig outside the door. Last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we met. There's a band we really like called Geese from New York, and we just ended up chatting to them after. And like that was pretty mad.
So, good luck with the gig tonight. It's been great talking to you. And good luck with the future of the band. But where can people find you on social media?
Instagram is freeparty_band.
TikTok as well.
Same as TikTok. Facebook is Free Party Band Official.
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah.
Twitter might be freeparty_band as well.
Yeah. To be fair, when you put
Like
Free
that.
Party in,
Yeah.
we should be there.
Yeah.
It's like Free Party 2246, something like that for some reason. But yeah, main ones are Instagram and TikTok. If you find them, you can basically find everything else from there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. It's been great to talk to you. Good luck with the future.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
See you in a bit.
See you next time.